Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of how companies can get ready for Ramadan. Today, I have with me our special guest, Joachim Ooi, who's the Talent and Culture Manager of Photobook Worldwide. And what he does in his free time, which is usually after midnight, is that he is also the lead organizer of Disrupt HR KL, a very innovative conference that is run for HR professionals throughout the country on a probably even Asia on an annual basis. So hello, Joachim, and a very warm welcome to you. Thank you for making the time for this.
Good afternoon, and thank you for doing this. Comes at the right time as this Friday we are looking forward for the Ramadan.
Yeah, I know many people are already saying that working from home has been quite a challenge on so many levels, having to deal with family members, children, parents, or even pets that don't understand that just because you're at home, you're actually not on holiday. Don't know how many times my cat has photobombed my Zoom calls.
I guess that's all part of working from home, right? So I guess we just gotta embrace these changes.
Yes, we do. And now, as you said, Friday when Ramadan starts, things are going to change. And I know many of the Muslims that I've spoken to so far, they actually say that, they shouldn't get any special treatment for Ramadan. We should continue to treat them as per usual. But I think Malaysia is such a multiracial Malaysia is such a multiracial country, and that we are so used to wanting to be a part of what our colleagues and our friends share. And we would want to know how can we best support them. We don't want to be insensitive, although they're not expecting any special treatment, but we just want to know how to go through this together with them. So very happy to have you here to share with us.
Thank you.
So maybe just to start off, maybe you can just briefly share with us, how has it been for Photobook while working from home?
Yeah, so I would say that even right before our Prime Minister made that announcement on the 18th of March, right, I would say that 2 weeks before that, we were already prepping ourselves that, most likely we are somehow going to hit into some of this situation very uniquely, right? It's pretty much unprecedented. And that we have already started what we call as started rolling out the kind of Team A and Team B work from home approach. So I would say that, the moment when we've got the announcement on the 16th, if I'm not mistaken, then I think on Tuesday onwards itself, that means on the 17th itself, we've already started to have the full team to be working from home, especially on the corporate side of the office. Whereas I would say that we have also started to look into like how can we also reduce in terms of the workforce, especially coming from our production team as well, to really have a proper spacing and social distancing between each other, because working in a factory, working in a production place, sometimes it can get a little bit cramped as well, so that we wanted to have sufficient space. So I think these are some of the things that we have done.
Okay, and now as you're preparing for Ramadan, what are some of the ideas, or rather before even the ideas, what are some of the challenges that you anticipate your team is going to be experiencing?
I think that during this period, what we even myself and also as a company, right, I think one of the greater challenge that we have faced, right, is that really how do we want to tackle in terms of, let's say during this period we still have people say leaving the organizations, and also to onboard new hires as well. So I think that we've really got to act fast and really act collaboratively as well across different departments to really see how can we look at maybe perhaps using some of these delivery services that we have in terms of parcels or machine or laptops deliveries, vice versa between the ID support team and also to the new hires or the leavers, right? So I think that there's a lot of all this logistics part that we really need to look at as well. We also even look into issuing travel authorization as well if they choose to drive themselves, and if they ever hit into any roadblocks, at least we have got something that will protect and will cover them, right? At least they have got a good justification. So I think these are some of the things that we have faced. And I mean, of course, now that we have already ran several virtual onboardings as well, we are kind of settling in, I would say. And that, we are already kind of planning, like, let's say this week, we will start talking about, how do we want to arrange the new machine or the laptop distribution for the new hires that we are expecting them to come join us, say on the first Monday of May. Because who knows that our Prime Minister may be announcing for another, perhaps one more week of extension of MCO.
Yeah, the numbers are going down.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully. So that's a good sign, but we should not do anything too prematurely. Okay, that's very interesting. Onboarding, how do you do virtual onboarding? A whole new challenge altogether. I would like to keep that for another topic.
Sure.
Okay, so with Ramadan coming along, I think there may be some challenges in terms of productivity, or even some challenges for individuals who are going through Ramadan away from their family. But there may be people who are, when MCO was called, they may not have had the time to go back home to their families, and they're going to be facing Ramadan all on their own. Would you share with us some thoughts or some ideas that you have on how we can support our Muslim friends?
Yeah, so I would say that I think year on year, I think one of the most consistent things that we have always been doing is that we look into switching in terms of the official working hours, whereby they come in very early and also they leave at probably about 4 or 4:30, really depending on whichever type of nature of that role there is, right? So that's definitely forgiven already, right? So and I think apart from that.
Can I just ask, you talked about switching office hours, right? But now that we're on MCO, are people still observing regular office hours?
No, so I would say that also the beautiful part of us is that we also will have an official work hours, but then all this while have been practicing flexible working hours as well. So I think that makes it pretty much quite easy as long as you communicate that you are there, and then it's the end of your work, right? So I think that one of the things that we have also started to do quite diligently company-wide is that we have introduced what we call as a daily huddle update. Let me just share a little bit about how this has been working well for us across departments, right? So it's that on a daily basis, just imagine that we have to answer a couple of questions. Say, for instance, Monday to Friday. Monday would be, let's say, what's your plan for this week? That means your key deliverables for this week. And then also, do you have any achievements that you wanted to share from last week? And also that you foresee any roadblocks. So on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that will be a daily huddle, updates and roadblocks and challenges. And then on Friday, it's all about reflections, right? So I think that sets pretty much like as and when we have received those messages, we kind of know that the person has started working. It can be 9, it can be 9:30, right? So we are kind of flexible with that. So I think that is a very good indicator of as and when people kickstart their day.
Okay, so to bring you back to what you were sharing earlier, one of the things for Ramadan is to switch up the official working hours. Okay, please carry on.
Sure. So I think that among some of the ideas that we have really been talking about, so been thinking about, right, is really about, I think number one is because I think that while we are right now working from home, and if MCO continue to extend, I think we need to look into the sensitivity and also the inclusivity part as well, whereby, sometimes we have all these random channels. Internally, we're using a tool called Slack, whereby we have plenty of different channels, and that, sometimes, we may be too overly enthusiastic to share, in terms of, hey, I've baked cake today, I have made a coffee, say that it is during the month of Ramadan. I think that we will try to also refrain from posting all those pictures, I think, just to be sensitive. So I think that would be one idea, to really about controlling our enthusiasm at home, right? So I think that's definitely point number one. I think number two is also that I think we can look into a full list of compilation of other food delivery services other than GrabFood or Foodpanda. I think we can also look into e-Bazaar Ramadan. I believe that there are many small businesses, local businesses as well, that I think that we should also use this part and also this timing to support them, because we want to shake and boost up our own economy as well, right? So I think also another part that I think we can really think about is to really convert some of these virtual lunches. I mean, we are pretty much quite happy when we are seeing some of these internal departments that we have, right? They're having a lot of all these virtual lunches. They kind of set time. Sometimes they just want to show that, you may be eating spaghetti, I may be eating nasi lemak and whatnot, right? But so long as people just on their video and they just munch and they just chit chat in front of the screen. I think we can convert this into what we call as a virtual buka puasa bersama. Probably we set time at about maybe 7:20 or 7:25, really depending on the buka puasa time as well. I think apart from that as well, we have also even thinking about, because being in the business of personalization, I think what we can think about is a recipe book during MCO, whereby if let's say any of our staffs happen to be preparing their meals for sahur, then perhaps we can compile a list of images and then we can then make them into like a recipe book as well. So I think these are some of the things that we have been thinking about.
Nice, a lot of very nice ideas.
Yeah. And also, I think, do you mind if I add in one more as well? I think this will also be something very good. I think the other day I just saw there's this one company that I saw in LinkedIn. I can't remember which company was that, right? That they started to even really coming down from the company. They really want to show their appreciation to their staff. They kind of send some surprise dessert or something to every of their staffs. So I think that maybe we can use this kind of method and perhaps send them maybe a box of baked dates, right? So I think that would be very nice.
That's nice. As a special surprise to the staff.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think what I've been realizing is that I know where my staff stay, but I don't know their address. Same thing with even like clients and associates. Now is the time that I want to surprise them, but how do I get their address without them suspecting?
Right.
Yeah, it shows that after this, our new normal is going to be so different from the lifestyle that we used to have.
Definitely, it's going to be a new normal. Definitely.
Yeah. So, what would be some of the changes that you are anticipating after MCO is over? When we start to get back to work, what would be some of the changes that you would be expecting?
I believe that we will probably be looking into an exit strategy plan and also a return to work policy as well. I believe that the whole team is currently really brainstorming and really to talk further about it, and to really see how we can also look into what we call as a business and human continuity plan, right? Not just business, but also human continuity plan is really about, like, let's say, because right now, just imagine that I used to sit beside with my team, right? That means to say that if we were to also apply what we call as a social distancing at our offices, maybe in the next 6 to 12 months, right? So just imagine that we have to find bigger spacing, and also that perhaps we should be continuing the team A, team B work from home arrangement as well. And I think that also another change that I think that is really going to impact me a lot, me being a very outdoor and also quite an extrovert person, right? Like each time whenever I welcome any visitor into the office, the natural thing to do is to really give them a handshake or a hug, if let's say they're with you. And then right now you are like try to refrain yourself, and it is going to be quite a change. I think this is going to be a personal change for me.
But you can still make coffee. I still remember that wonderful cup of coffee you made for me.
Yeah. I think coffee is something that we will continue to provide and also to make as well. But I would say that maybe we'll probably miss having the full team at the same time at the same place. I think that will be some of the changes that we'll probably need to embrace.
Yeah, I think we all need to be very mindful of social distancing for at least another couple of months.
Correct.
We don't want it to, flare up again.
Yeah.
Okay. I think since I've got you, maybe there's another area that I'd like to explore with you. In a time like this, where we know people are under pressure, how would you balance between compassion, understanding people's situation, and also still getting the kind of performance, work performance? How would you balance that?
Okay, so I would say that in any businesses or in any organizations, I think that every management team and everyone would really want to see their company grow, and would really want to see their company be successful and become a very performance based. I think that is already like that is a must already. So I think that it's really about how we want to practice what we call as I think from mid-level managers to maybe some of those seniors, right? I think that we need to start to look into, like, let's say perhaps things like servant leadership, and also I think that lead with empathy. I think that's very important. I think that during this holy month of Ramadan, right? I think it's really about having very pretty much open and clear communication. Hey, just let me know if, let's say, if you have kids, you've got family, you've got to prepare a lot of people's meals, right? So I think it's really about knowing when they start. Perhaps they can start a bit late, and even let's say they have something they need to deliver by the end of the day. And if let's say by the normal usual hours, say that's about 6, 7, right? If they can't complete, if they need to prepare and they need to book a passport, go ahead, right? Maybe perhaps they can resume their work, since they're at home, right? They can resume their work, at 10, at 11, at 12, after they put their babies to sleep or their kids to sleep, right? So I think that is pretty much having that kind of flexibility. And I think that it needs to coexist. I think it's very, very important to have this all the time, not only during the month of Ramadan, in fact, right? So it's like anyone of your team, if they really needed some form of help, also try to understand if they are staying alone as well. I think sometimes it could be quite lonely if they are not supposed to go back to their kampong. I think that would be even worse, right? So I think you need to spend more time having, constant communication and check-ins with this so-called team member.
Yeah, it's true. I really feel for those people who are on their own. We have one intern who is all the way from Mauritius, and he managed to get into Malaysia just before MCO started.
Okay.
And he will be going through Ramadan alone while the family is back so far away. So we're doing our best to give him a lot of work so that he feels that there's something to occupy him, and also, of course, give a lot of love. So this is shouting out to our most exotic intern from Mauritius, Darren Brown Bear, making you famous.
Good one.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Joachim.
No problem.
Before we wrap up, I'm trying to compile everything that you said onto a slide. So let me just show you the slide and see if I've captured everything.
Sure.
Okay, so thanks for your ideas. I've tried to capture it in point form here. Please let me know if this is accurate or if there's anything that you
like. Well.
Okay, so a very quick recap. Switch up the official working hours, but just check in and check out so that your team knows when you're working and when you're not, when to disturb you and when not to. All those of you who are gradually becoming master chefs at home, hold back. Don't be so enthusiastic about posting your masterpieces on all the common platforms. Like if you're using Slack or even WhatsApp or Zoom that you're doing, hold off the food shots.
And post it during the dinner time if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. The third one is something I really love. I really hope someone would do this, and that is to compile a list of all the Ramadan bazaars, all the vendors who actually would be suffering from a great loss of income, because some of them make enough during the month of Ramadan to last them the entire year. So I really hope that there can be some platform to pull all these people together so that they can still make business. I think that's a great idea that you have. Convert virtual lunches to virtual buka puasa bersama. Yes, I look forward to doing that with my friends and loved ones. And I like what you said, that people would tend to order food for buka puasa, but for sahur, they tend to cook. So it's a great idea to have a sahur recipe book. Can we expect that coming up from Photobook anytime soon?
I'll probably need to do a lot of preparation to have like a book, because it really requires a lot of shots.
Yeah, and also what is something that is solid enough that can last them the whole day, but at the same time easy to prepare when you've just woken up. And of course, the last one is surprise your people with dates or dessert or anything that can just make their Ramadan a little bit sweeter.
Yep. Just so they know that they remember, right?
Yeah, that they're not alone and that we're all in this together. And I think that is really the spirit of what it means to be Malaysian. Okay, thanks so much. Any last words that you'd like to share to managers, companies, company leaders?
I think it's really about continue to have that trust. I think be it whether or not we are working virtually or working together at the same place, I think that once you get the chemistry going, I would say that, it's really all about business as usual, and also be pretty much supportive and also communicate. I think that is the key. Yeah.
Communication is the glue that can keep your team together. Totally agree with you there.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for doing this.
You're most welcome.
All right. So take care. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.